You know, there's a new type of fentanyl hitting New York streets.
No.
It's called Super Mario.
Wow.
It's 100 times stronger.
What?
Yeah, I saw that on like an Elden Ring like clip. It's like he's fighting. Where was he on the map? I think somewhere in Kaled, and then he just goes. Chat goes. You heard about the new drug hitting the streets of New York? It's called Super Mario, and the streamer's like, no way, and he Googles it, just like wow, that's a way to get introduced to that.
Is I don't think Nintendo's gonna like that one.
I can't wait till we get Super Luigi.
Super Luigi, it just kills you immediately.
It just slows you down. No. It's
you get okay because Luigi jumps higher in the games than Mario.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe Super Luigi just gets you like extremely high.
Oh no! I was just saying like the fentanyl's covered in mushrooms, and so you just start seeing shit like ghosts.
See, more high.
Well, there you go.
That's crazy.
Elden Ring today, so that's why I'm a little bit hyper. I would have been playing at. Do you know that Steam drops their games if they're midnight releases the day before at 3 p.m.?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that until like this afternoon.
Most companies don't do it until 9 p.m.
Yeah. Well, okay, technically 12 p.m. EST, 9 p.m. for PST. I don't know about the people in the middle. I don't know why you live in the middle.
But
yeah.
Why do you live there?
Yeah, but
there's nothing there.
No, PC Steam DLCs and games just drop at 3 p.m. I did not know that.
That's so weird.
I will now be looking forward to all my games a day earlier in the afternoon from now on.
That is so strange. Like, what's even the point of doing that?
Actually, it's not as strange as you think. Nintendo does the same thing. Well, did the same thing with
it's at 9 p.m. though. For digital sales, if you buy it digitally, you get it 9 p.m. the day before.
I remember on the 3DS, that shit didn't come out until because I remember I was playing Dragon Ball Fusions and it came out a specific date for like Goku Black and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, man, it's here. And they were like, no, it doesn't come out till tomorrow for whatever specific reason, even though the developer says it comes out today. I'm like, Nintendo, what are you doing? It was like, I think it was also like 3 p.m. or something. I can't remember.
Did they just lie?
I don't know. Nintendo was weird. I like how game developers have a different idea for when they release, and then like publishers or like people who have the programming softwares. How about no?
I've never experienced that. I've only experienced that at Walmart. Mm-hmm. I've gone in there and been like, can I get a game? And they're like, which one? I'm like, this one. They're like, oh, that doesn't come out yet. And I'm like, what the F do you mean? I just checked. It's supposed to be out. They're like, nope, not out yet. Sorry.
Really?
I'm like, okay. And I go to GameStop and they're like, oh, yeah, here you go. I'm like, wow. So they're just blatantly lying to my face.
What game was it?
It was, I'm trying to remember. I think it was
Mario Party Deluxe.
No. Which one was it?
What year was this?
It was a couple years back. Maybe, was it? Why can't I remember? I think it was maybe Kirby?
Maybe Kirby's Wild.
Kirby in the Forgotten Land? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it's a Switch game, though. Mm-hmm. I guess that really is the only games I'd
Why didn't you just whip out your phone and go, it is September 25th?
Clearly, they just didn't want to give it to me. So I was like, all right, that's cool. I'll go to the other place where we can buy games in town, I guess.
GameStop is goated.
Yeah, they sell you games. Walmart doesn't, apparently. If you go on release date, Walmart has like a 50% chance of just not giving it to you.
That's so weird.
I can't... Maybe it was Luigi's Mansion. I can't remember, but I know for sure I went in and they're like, nope, not out yet. And I just remember looking at my phone and being like, but...
Today's December 15th.
It says it's out.
On the IGN website.
I wouldn't be here asking where it is unless it was already out.
It's so weird.
It's so weird. Maybe...
Imagine that happened with like Halo 2, just in a random Walmart.
Oh, that... People would be so angry if that happened with a Halo game. People would be upset.
Highly.
But I know it wasn't like a super major release. Mm-hmm. Like it was like a big release, but it wasn't like one of the most popular games. Mm-hmm. So it was like if the Walmart wasn't selling that to people, that like not too many people would care. But if it was like, if they did that with GTA 6, now Walmart would burn down.
I don't even know how you could. Wow, that's going to also come out at the day before at 3 p.m. on Steam.
Yeah.
Will it be on Steam? No, it won't. It won't be on Steam.
It's not going to be on Steam?
No, because they do the PC ports later. It's only going to be on consoles.
Oh.
So 6 PST. I hate that.
That's weird.
I hate how we are in the modern day of gaming. Release it on everything, even the Nokias.
That is super weird. I'm surprised they're not having it that as a PC day one game.
No, because what they end up doing is because they want more money. They'll sell it to you, be like,
oh, so they want people to buy it twice.
It's like with GTA 5, how they had it for the 3 PC, then the 4, and then the 5. So they'll probably end up doing it like that again.
That makes sense.
Like Ragnarok and Spider-Man. I'm finally going to play fucking God of War Ragnarok eventually. So that comes out on PC. I think it has a release date or whatever, so I'll play that. So I'll finally be able to figure out the story. I have shockingly been able to keep out of spoilers for that game.
I wouldn't know the difference between that one and the first one, so really I wouldn't get any spoilers ever. Even if I saw them, I wouldn't know.
If you like Red Dead, I recommend the new God of Wars.
Yeah, I don't have time.
You never do.
No.
Anyway, we are 6 minutes in, and we didn't even do the intro.
Oh, that's right. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Totally Oblivious Podcast. I am your host, Caleb, the sleepy guy, here with co-host Alex,
the Elden Lord.
Yeah. How was your day?
I somehow lost my wallet at my girlfriend's place. Context. So I finally got the Nintendo emulator on my iPhone, and I understand why kids were addicted to the Game Boys, because holy shit.
Just right there.
They're right there. No, I'm playing Leaf Green, because fuck Fire Red, hate Charizard gang, for real.
What do you mean?
Blastoise for the win.
Blastoise.
So I go with Venusaur. Anyway, so I'm playing that right. I'm basically speed running through the game. I didn't think I did it this fast with the originals. Granted, I am using the speed up mechanic with the emulators, but it's still highly addicting and fun. I'm using a very interesting team, and I'm addicted right now. For anybody wondering what the team is, Blastoise, Primeape, Slowbro, because I can't use Gengar or Alakazam because you have to trade evolutions, and I'm not going to go into that fucking rant how I think it's absolutely stupid that was even a mechanic in the first place. That's not the point.
I still think that's a neat mechanic. I don't care what you say.
No, I hate that one. So I had to put Haunter maybe. And I had to put Haunter and what's Alakazam's evolution?
Why don't they? Do they not have it where you can trade?
You can't, not on the emulators.
Why don't they have that on the emulators?
I think it has to involve something with the Nintendo network. Technically, I could have, but I would literally have to be able to beginner code to change the mechanic with the emulator, which you can do, but I was too lazy to do that. I was beyond the point.
See, so that just makes me realize that we have to basically wait on our Pokemon playthrough until Nintendo or someone decides to release those
if I figure it out
with trade.
If I figure it out, I can change it, the code, and then send you how to change it so we can fix it so there's no trade evolutions required.
We still have to battle though. That's part of the thing. We have to fight each other at the end.
Look, well, there's other ways to do it, but it won't look in the way that it's supposed to. We can use Pokemon. It's not Stadium. It's a different thing.
I know what you're talking about, but it's not going to be as cool because it's not our actual team. It's not the team we raised.
Yeah. But we can still go through it, but that would be the only option.
But it's not going to be as cool.
I know. Unless
Why can't they just put those games on the Switch? Literally, like, people would buy the online so fast if you could just play those.
I think it's probably because of, like, competition. Because they were like, the new Pokemon's game's out, so we don't want to give you... I won't lie. I'm playing Leaf Green right now, and I'm reading some of the dialogue. I'm like, I don't know what Pokemon was doing back in the day, but there is something fundamentally different.
Oh yeah,
in its entirety.
It felt more lived in.
It just feels a lot more raw. Like when I went into I'll finish the rest of the team before going on that. Blastoise, Primeape. I'm using a different team than I would have. I'm not going with all my favorites except for Dragonite because it's so easy to get a fucking Dratini early in game.
I think I remember.
Super Rod, Safari Zone, water, done. Easiest. Anyway. Snorlax, because I didn't kill it this time.
Smart.
Slowbro, because psychic types are still good even in Fire Red and Leaf Green. And then Dratini, and then I'm using a Nidoqueen. And I don't know how overpowered Nidoking and Nidoqueen are in Leaf Green. They have a poison ability. If you use a physical attack, the other opponent gets poisoned. That's absolutely busted.
It's good.
Yes, really good.
Still, I don't like the design.
Of Nidoqueen?
Yeah, don't like it.
It's kind of weird how she has boobs.
Yeah, I don't like their koala ears.
Oh my god, they do have koala ears. I didn't notice them though.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
How does this lead to your wallet going missing?
Oh, okay. Well. Anyway, the game. Go back to the Lavender Town thing. Just in the details. The fact that they say blood in the Lavender Tower, I'm like,
oh yeah, they do.
I'm like, oh my god, this is real.
This is a real universe.
This was early 2000s, by the way.
Yeah.
So why can't we do this again? Like, don't get me wrong. I know Pokemon's for kids, but
kids, you know what blood is.
Yeah. Let's be honest. They definitely know. You can do a little bit of leeway with it.
Dipper bleeds and Gravity Falls.
You literally poison Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't know how blood is such like a bad
Lavender
thing.
Town, people actually die in Pokemon.
We literally fought. I fought a ghost.
You fight a ghost, a whole ghost.
Yeah. You can find Cubones in the Lavender Tower. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I don't think I found it the first time when I did the original Blue.
I don't think I found it any other time, but I remember hearing that you could.
Okay. Well, so I've been doing that all day for the past week. I am now, unlike when I got it on my PC, I will go to Gen 2 and finish Soul Silver because I like Lugia. I will finish it that time because, dude, currently am and are still addicted. But while I was gaming, my pants, my shorts have very loose pockets. Not these ones. I had to change them out. And while I was sitting on my girlfriend's bed, I kind of was perched up like this, just in a way my wallet could fall out of my pocket. I then left her house around 12:30 after watching Shrek in Spanish. Really good, by the way. I learned a lot. And it fell on the floor next to her bed on the left-hand side. But since there is so much clothes everywhere because she is yet to unpack, I didn't hear it fall. In that, 14 hours later, I had found myself frantically looking all over my house and being like, it's so over.
It's over.
It's over.
Gone.
I bought Elden Ring was the last thing I bought, dog. It's so over. I looked all over my house, looked all over through my car. I'm like, it's over. I lost my shit. I have to cancel everything. I won't be able to buy anything for a week, maybe 2. And then I was like, I didn't bring it with me. I did, but in a different way than I originally thought. Called my mom. She's like, maybe you just left it somewhere and you didn't realize. But I was like, I didn't bring it with me. And then I go to my girlfriend's house. I find it, and then all of it came back to me like an amnesia patient. I brought my wallet to my girlfriend's house, but when her gay friend was over, he drove us. So my initial thought was, I don't need my wallet. So I left it there, not knowing that it already fell on the side of the bed. So when I was switching my keys out of my pockets, I'm like, yeah, it's right there. I don't know why I thought it's giant oversight. And I just left it there, and I panicked all in the afternoon trying to find my fucking wallet. And I just went over to my girlfriend's house. It was right there because I was playing Pokemon.
Man,
that's
happened before to me too.
Really?
But it's usually in my car. Whatever I leave behind usually just gets jammed inside my car.
I think it's my phone. Most of the time, it's my phone in my car.
It's like when I go to gym, my gym pants or my sweats that I wear, the pockets are always loose on those. So anything that's loose in my pocket, that's not just tight against my body, will just slip out into the cracks of my car. And sedans don't like having space where you can see when something drops down there. So I'll just have no idea, and I'll leave. And then the next morning when I'm looking for it, I'm like, where are my car keys? How am I supposed to leave without my car keys?
Where's my vehicle?
Where's my car?
That's so weird.
That's very real. But
I think technically that's the first time I've lost my wallet. It's been like, God, I don't even know how long. I don't think I've ever lost my wallet like this.
Yeah, honestly,
this place is different, but completely lost it, like in a completely different location. First time.
Yeah, fair.
Keys different though.
Keys, those things just fall out everywhere.
Oh yeah.
But
I made a little rack for it in my house.
But
personal rack.
Going back on what you said about getting addicted and like how much people like having the Game Boys and stuff in their pocket. I've just been so nostalgic. I'm like I was just tempted to. Like, I know the emulators are on my phone. Mm-hmm. I could just download that, but I was just tempted to get like a Game Boy.
Get that and not work. Just play it. It is.
I know it's so fun. I love those games. I had the emulator when I first got my computer. Mm-hmm. I downloaded the Game Boy emulator and was just playing Gold through again. I just love playing Gold. And I know how to get all the starters on there too without trading.
Really?
Yeah.
You can get all the starters? I didn't know this.
Basically, with those first two generations, there's an exploit for everything to be able to get every Pokemon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very specific because there's a way to get Mew. Where it's not a legitimate Mew, but you can still get it, and you could potentially keep resetting the game until
you get 6 Mews?
Until you get the ID that you need for it to be a legitimate Mew. But I didn't do that my first time. I just got it.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah,
you know, I remember hearing an old theory that the reason why you could even do that in the first place is some developers are like, I'm just gonna leave this in, like how they do with the Magnum and Halo, just like, I'm gonna make this overpowered real quick.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they did. Is that because, like, it's kind of ridiculous to have a specific Pokemon just locked so you could never 100% the dex unless you were alive and in Japan during a specific day.
Yet again, why I said the PS Vita should be up a tier or two if you're Japanese.
The Japanese love that thing. But weird. No. Yeah, I just was nostalgic for the feeling of, instead of having my phone in my pocket all the time, it was my 3DS and just taking that everywhere and playing games.
If anybody is watching this, I'll say it even during our playthrough, whenever that is, maybe even next month. Next month?
Maybe. As soon as I finish Paper Mario, I'll start really getting into it.
We got to make layouts for that, but that's beside the point. I might even pay a motherfucker to do this, depending. Whoever does the emulators, for the love of God, I don't know why nobody's done this yet. Maybe they have, and I'm just dumb. Combine the games. Just literally throw in all the Pokemon in the one area they're at. There's no way that's difficult.
Yeah, they could just mod those games and make it so.
I don't even think it's modding. I think you can just code it, because I think it's the exact same thing. Things are just turned off and on. If I'm remembering that one video correctly.
Change it so the Johto Pokemon are in Johto. Kanto Pokemon are in Kanto. Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
The modders, why haven't they done that yet?
I'm shocked none of the emulators are combined.
They could just fix that, and they just don't.
Yeah. I guess like for purity's sake, but couldn't you just have a third option, or it's just like, here is everything. You can just find it where it is in the other game. So you're playing Red and you're trying to get like, I don't know, a specific Pokemon that's only in leaf green or whatever. It's still in that area in Red. Just have to just walk around the grass for a little bit longer. Now, I guess the percentages would be all weird, but I don't think it's like out of a hole. It's just it's like a random chance. So I think it'd be fine. I don't know exactly how the RNG works in Pokemon games like that.
I don't know if it'd change that much, because like, honestly, where Growlithe is in Johto is where...
It took all my will not to have another Growlithe on my team.
But that's where Houndour should be in Johto, but instead they're where Growliths are in Kanto. So it's like, why don't you just swap those?
Yeah.
That's really like the only one that occurs with either.
It's so weird.
Because everything else is like in that middle area between the two regions.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I never completed my original Soul playthrough. Not just Silver playthrough on the DS. Because it's so like, where's all like the Kanto Pokemon? Like I got to where Tempig, what? Not Tempig.
That's a completely different generation.
Donphan was like where his first evolution was. I got him, and I'm all like, where's everything else? Do I really have to beat all of the Elite Four here to get to like some of the, I would personally say some of the cooler looking ones? And I'm all like, huh?
I mean, you just get your Johto team, and then you beat. I think that's the entire point. Is when you go to Kanto, you can make an entirely different team.
See, I would try to say something to that, but I just never did. And maybe you're correct.
That's what most people do, but I like a lot of the Johto Pokemon enough that I've never had to do that.
It is. I had a very hard time getting rid of my my Alakazam and my maybe could be Gengar yesterday. It actually broke me. I got connected to them.
You.
I'm like,
I'm pretty sure there's somebody in the region that trades that can give you those.
I was gonna Google that, but I'm all like, I don't have Fly yet, and I don't want to be running around.
That's fair.
Yeah. And also, shockingly, I think Fire Red and Leaf Green actually play slower than the originals.
That's why I don't like them. I don't like them as much as the originals.
I feel slow. I'm like, I don't remember being this slow.
I honestly think that the Game Boy style only works for the Ruby and Sapphire games.
Maybe.
Because I don't think they look good for Kanto at all.
At all?
I don't like their sprites.
Really?
I don't like the human sprites. I don't like the Pokemon sprites.
Wow.
I don't even like the music that they do for Fire Red and Leaf Green. I think it's all better in the original.
I would agree in some aspects to all of those. However, I do like the redesigns of Blue and Red. I don't know why. I think that's out of nostalgia. Because I look at Red now, I'm like, oh yeah, that guy's a badass. Cool. No wonder he becomes a boss. And then I look at original Red, I go, why do you look like Ash? I mean, that's the point. Maybe the other way. Like, why does Ash become you? But like, I don't know. He looks like a child. And that's
He's
the point.
An actual child.
I'm like, why do you look like that? And like Blue and Red now kind of look, even though I know they're supposed to be 10, they look like 20-year-olds.
He just looks like a nerd in Fire Red and Leaf Green. Just a nerd.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
He just looks like a nerd.
I don't think so. But I will say some of the sprites are oddly done.
Yeah. I don't like them.
A Haunter sprite in Fire Red is different for some reason other than Leaf Green. And I'm like, that's a weird choice.
I just, like I said, I genuinely think that style only looks good for the Hoenn region.
Really?
The Hoenn Pokemon are the only ones that look good in that style.
I do have to agree on that.
They should have just waited till the DS came out to make the remakes, because then they could have had a much better pixelation style, much better sprites, and I think I probably would have liked those games a lot more.
I'm trying to imagine Red as, what are their names in Diamond and Pearl? Are their actual names Diamond and Pearl?
No, it's Lucas and Dawn.
Thank you. I'm trying to imagine Lucas as Red right now in my head, really hard, as a sprite. Yeah.
I mean, you see him in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's really weird.
It just, like we said in the tier list, those games should have just waited another generation. They would have been so much better. Like, they were unnecessary remakes.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Should they be remade again or no?
Well, they did it. They technically did do it again with Let's Go Pikachu.
Mm-hmm. But I want like.
And I mean, those games probably would have been cool if it wasn't for the fact that they were based on Go.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess, yeah, in a sense they should. But I'd prefer if they remade Gold and Silver again.
Okay.
Because I feel like those games would be more needing of another, or just re-release Heart Gold and Soul. So,
hey,
Nintendo.
Wait, they didn't reveal the Switch too.
They're not gonna until later.
That's crazy.
But
also, Metroid. Good job, guys.
Metroid 4 is finally coming out.
What is it now? Metroid Prime 4 Ultra Mega Beyond. Go Ultra Instinct.
Should be pretty cool. But no, I think it's stupid Game Freak literally is shooting themselves in the foot by not releasing all their old games.
It's so
because they honestly could have put those games like they could have had a whole collection of here's the Game Boy games. Here you can have all 3 red, blue, or all 4 red, blue, yellow, and green all in one cartridge. You can have all of those for $60 this year, and then that gives us time to develop a new Pokemon game for next year. They don't even have to try on these.
You know what you could have done? Here's a wild one: red, blue, yellow on one thing, and then you do gold, silver, crystal on one, and then you do Gen 3, right? But then Gen 3
also has fire red and leaf green.
Exactly. And you don't even, and this is the funny thing, you can individually release those like during like a 2-year time span to give yourself more time. Be like, no, we're just releasing all the games. Everybody wants them. You know, we can do things with friends.
They could, and that would probably make them more money than just releasing rapid fire every single year.
No. The way I'm thinking about this is you can totally. Oh my god, bro! Give me in the Game Freak room.
Give me their conference room
Re-release
right now.
all the old ones up until we'll say up until 4. So we got like all of 2 and 3, right? And do like a massive like. How long has it been since the original 3 came out? Generation 3.
Gen 3.
Gen 3. How many years has it been?
23 years.
So wait 2 more years. 25th anniversary of 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. And then just over the course of a few months.
It's been 21. Either way,
in like a 1 to 2 year time span, then you release a new game.
Yeah, and I would give the developers so much time to work on that game as they're still making money off of just re-releasing the old games.
And this is separate from.
And you know how many people would still like the Switch is still high selling, but you would sell more Switches re-releasing those games because I already know people who are
I'm literally addicted to playing it on my phone. If I had it on a Switch and I could play it on oh my god, I forgot. Imagine playing any version of that on your your desktop.
Yeah, just on blown up a big screen. It would be so good. They just choose not to do that.
You know what? Hold on. I gotta show Caleb. I won't lie. The iPhone, what the fuck did I have? It's basically the newest one. It looks so good. Hold on, let me flip it over. Look how this looks good on an iPhone.
Looks good.
It's genuinely.
Just imagine that, but big.
Yeah, no, it's Nintendo. You are. We gotta make like a criticism Nintendo segment every time because it's like, dude, and a Game Freak, not Game Freak.
Game Freak.
It's like, what are you doing? You can totally make up bullshit and just be like 22 years of 1, 2, and 3.
You know it's bad when you can get Perfect Dark on the Switch online, but you can't play any of the original Pokemon?
That is so stupid.
Like,
dumb.
A company owned by one of their rival companies lets you have their game.
Oh my god.
Pokemon.
I remembered big brain moment. Oh my. So, if we sold, we'll just do the original red, blue, and yellow. Mm-hmm. You sold it an all-in-one cartridge or one pack, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if the Switch is capable of this. You have to double check me on this. Couldn't you just trade in between yourself?
Probably if they developed it as such. Because if they're all in the same cartridge, then
how do you switch now? Through Pokemon Bank or something?
Yeah.
Or just that? You can just use that. You don't even need to alternately do anything.
I mean, they had it. They had the technology for the 3DS for you to be able to transfer your Pokemon from the original.
Dude, I'm literally fucking printing you money.
Game Boy games.
I'm printing money.
Everybody's suggesting this too. That's the craziest part. Is everyone has suggested this already? They've just chose not to do it.
I hate old people because I know it's somebody. Oh, bro, we can get into this. It is just an executive problem at this point. It's so like blatantly obvious through like every gaming corporation. It is just executive problems. It is not the developers. Developers could do it in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. More money, Easy.
Like,
but we wouldn't get enough money for it.
But like, people wouldn't even have to pirate the games anymore if they could just play it.
It would have been an ultimate. Oh my! If I was on Game Freak's board and I saw somebody put a legal emulator on it, because technically emulation is legal, and even those the games themselves are legal, because I do have my copy, so I'm fine technically. But imagine that happens, right? It goes on the App Store as a power play. You can get all the games on Switch now.
Yeah. That would have been the ultimate power. I think Game Freak might just be stupid.
Yeah.
Like, they might just actually be dumb.
It is. And you know what, too? The emulator's free.
Because honestly,
or anything.
It really just comes down to them.
Yeah.
Because they just have to give the okay. Yeah, here you go. Here's the Pokemon games. So unless they're planning a Pokemon Direct this summer, and they're going to say, oh yeah, you can play Red and Blue on the Switch online now, because there's a whole Game Boy section for Game Boy games, which basically one of the main sellers of the Game Boy was Pokemon. Mm-hmm. So you can play that on the Game Boy online, because it makes perfect sense for that to be available on that. Like, if they don't do that, I honestly already don't even plan on getting the new Pokemon game. Mm-hmm. So that would just even more be like...
Did you get Scarlet and Violet?
I did, and it was okay. Mm-hmm. So, like, I'm at the point where it's just like, I don't really care too much about anything new Pokemon puts out unless it really, really grabs my attention.
You know, you're already using older trainers. You might I'm just saying, I know this is always stupid because you always hear this in some Pokemon comment section. Mm. If you, and this just goes for all developers, you know what? This gets me to a completely different segue. Remastering old games in general is genius. Resident Evil and Capcom, genius. Halo, Combat Evolved, rumored is getting a complete remake. Remaster remake. Always get confused. It's remake. Genius. Original Red and Blue in a 3D style. Everything stays the same other than the look. You add, I don't know, updates to it, so it wouldn't be like 151. You know, you can have your Steelixes and your Slow Kings in there if you want to, and there you go. That's all you need. Done.
Well, that's why I even say that a gold and silver one would make more sense, because you could get all the Pokemon then from those first two generations. Yeah, and it just works. It makes sened.
And there you go.
No, they just don't want to. They just refuse.
Resident Evil has remaked, so it redid the franchise. It literally it made it relevant again.
It really did. Game Freak, you have 3 months to respond.
Yeah, right now. They have less time, because I've heard those games are so insignificantly small that you can immediately port them. There is almost no problems. All you have to do is just mess with the controls.
I only said 3 months because that's usually within summertime is when they have a Pokemon Direct. So if they didn't have one by the time
are we gonna get ZA or however they're pronouncing it?
I don't really want to.
I kind of want to, because I want to support this part of the franchise.
But like at the same time,
I'm gonna knock my socks off though.
At the same time, it's like, man, I'd really just prefer them to release the old games. I'd rather pay $60 each for a collection of red, blue, and yellow, a collection of gold, silver, crystal, and a collection of ruby, sapphire, and emerald. I'd rather spend that much money on those 3 collections than spend $60 on one game that I know I'm not going to like.
Unless they knock it out of the fucking park.
They would have to create like one of the greatest Switch games for me to be convinced.
And you know what, too, bro? I'm realizing what $40 does now. Because Elden Ring, as of today...
Elden Ring gives you a lot for their DLC.
Technically speaking, Spider-Man 2 was roughly 12 or 18 hours of gameplay.
25.
Is it 25? A speed run of not doing any optional bosses for $40 gives you roughly 14 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
So if you do everything and on top of the actual main game itself, you're looking at 150 hours doing all the optional content. $40 for 14 hours, roughly. It's probably closer to like 30 probably in full. Game Freak, I will give you $40 for Pokemon.
I would. I'd throw money at any of those original games. I honestly would. And I think a lot of other people would agree.
From Software is the equivalent to Kendrick Lamar in the gaming community right now, because they drop every like 7 years, and it's just like, oh, peak. They have now the top rated DLC ever. They beat Witcher 3. So it's just like, Game Freak. Come on.
They don't even have to try. They just have to listen to what the audience wants.
I don't.
That's
executives confuse my brain.
That's the craziest part, is they actually just have to be like, you know what would sell us a lot of, what would get us a lot of money? Just re-releasing the original games like we did on the 3DS.
You know what? I'm shocked Nintendo doesn't just go like, every time we release a new console, all the old Pokemon games get immediately on there.
Honestly, they should have just had the old 3DS eShop on the Switch.
That too.
That should have been the case from the beginning. It should have just been the 3DS eShop on the Switch. So all your 3DS games that you bought digitally would still be on the Switch.
But they want money.
Or at least the legacy stuff. But I mean, even if it's just that they want money stuff, like, people would have bought more Pokemon games on the Switch.
God, it's so weird. So weird.
I mean, and they don't have the excuse anymore, because their original excuse was that Game Freak didn't think the Switch was going to do well. So they thought they were just going to move on to mobile gaming from that point on. But then the Switch did incredibly well, so they were immediately obligated to start putting Pokemon stuff on the Switch. Mm-hmm. And you'd think the first move they would have made is, here's the originals.
You know what, too? This is also another idea. Why not just release all the Pokemon games on your phones?
They could.
Like, for like $5. Minecraft does it for $7.
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
I mean, I think, wasn't it like, how much was it when we bought it on the 3DS? Do you remember? I don't think it was that much.
How old were we?
When it came out, when Red and Blue came out, we were in 8th grade.
It had to be less than $40. I'm pretty sure it was like $10.
I thought it was like $6.
Hold on, I'm gonna.
It was so cheap.
Red and Blue on this had to be less, because I know.
Let's see who can find it first. Who can find it first?
Hold on, I gotta close off a bunch of tabs. Those are crazy. Those are the whole consoles though. I'm gonna do eShop. Stupid.
It's hard to find because the 3DS eShop doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. We're doing lost media.
This is lost media. How much? I know it was not expensive. Why is this so hard?
I don't know. Why is this lost media?
That's
That's 2DS. I want 3DS. What the hell?
Oh, do you remember they made
Okay, I found it. It was less, because this is 2016, right?
Yes.
So you're looking at, depending on taxes, $13 to $14.
That's so crazy.
That is a steal, dog.
A steal of a deal. And they could just do that again, and I'd pay that money again.
Like, you'd make it $20, that'd be fine. Shit.
Like, I already have them on my 3DS, and it's like, I could play them on the 3DS, but I want them on the Switch. I'd be willing to buy them again if I could play them on the Switch.
Nintendo, yet again, being one of the better companies, yet still not telling Game Freak, give me your shit.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not like they don't have time. Those games they're already done. All you need to do is just figure out the controls to the buttons, and that shouldn't take more longer than a weekend.
Either, because it's all there. It's the same button layout.
Nothing's changed.
You don't have to change anything. They already have the mechanics through the Game Boy Online. If they just released it through that would work. But if they want the extra money, it's still there.
Game companies need to resell their shit. And or remake their shit. Like Halo.
It's true.
If Halo gets a really badass remake, would you play it?
Yeah, I would. 100%. But then again, they gave Diamond and Pearl a remake. Nobody liked it.
That wasn't the remake we wanted. That's one of the cases where it's like, okay, oh wait, no. It's not a remake that we wanted even more because they remade Diamond and Pearl. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you do Platinum, which was clearly the superior version? That was a fumble.
Same reason why they didn't do Emerald.
Yeah, weirdos.
But then again, the Ruby and Sapphire remakes
were like completely different.
Greatest Pokemon games.
Yeah, it's weird, dude. Like there was nothing added.
I think they just stupid.
Yeah,
I can't even say lazy. I think it's just stupid.
Yeah, I
think Game Freak's just stupid. They might actually they're allergic to making money.
Yeah, you really can't. You can't like at some points I try to give some leeway to some people. Be like, okay, they were trying to do something new or different here and fumbled. That was so radically not the same, and it failed. If they did Diamond and Pearl and like Scarlet and Violet's art style, I'd have been like, you know what?
That's fair.
This passes. This was fine.
Even then, they still didn't have all the Pokemon on there either.
Yeah, I was also about to say that
they for some reason just became against having every Pokemon on one game, even though now on Scarlet and Violet you can get basically every Pokemon.
Really?
Yeah, there's only 3 you can't get.
Is it the starters?
I think it's Alolan, Rattata, and Raticate, and Spinda are the only ones you can't get.
Do you have to trade in between them, or is like what is it?
No, it's just they're not available at all. Like they don't have the.
So you can complete all the decks on one single cartridge?
Yeah. So they finally decided to do that. Like,
well, that's a
good
later. Choice.
But it's like, man, why wasn't that your decision in the first place?
I genuinely hope with ZA or ZA, I like calling it ZA because it's funny. Puts a new like drug into Game Freak's vein so they figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
Now, why they chose Lumiose? Couldn't tell you.
Still, I think the X and Y games are slept on.
They were trying to make a third, but they were so slept on. They said, "Never mind."
They're like, "Never mind. Let's just make Ruby and Sapphire."
Oh, okay. I will give them credit though. They're starting to finally learn with Megas. No idea why we went into like how many gimmicks did we go through? 1, 2, or 3?
Because I guess technically, I'd say 2 because with the Z moves, the Megas were still there.
Yeah, so we went through two different funnies, and then we forgot probably one of the arguably best mechanics or gimmicks
that everybody liked.
It's like, wow, unrelevant Pokemon got better. Our starters got so much cooler. Bro, I was waiting for that Typhlosion update, and they never did it. I just waited, and I'm just all like, sad. I eventually got Hisuian Typhlosion. Cool. He's cool. Ghost Fire type is pretty raw, but I'm just like, I wanted a Mega. I wanted Fire, not fighting anything else. Fire Steel would have been badass, like a Wolverine like reference or something.
I'll tell you this: if Pokemon Legends ZA has Totodile as one of the starters, that would severely increase my odds of buying that game.
The sad reality of it is they're probably all going to be French like themed. That's the theory.
Yeah.
So I will probably choose Piplup, of course, because the other two's people are saying Score Bunny already. I'm like, that was a bit recent, but okay, I can see why you're doing it. And Meganium Chikorita question mark? I think so, right?
See, if it's that starter trio, I wouldn't be interested at all. I don't like any of them. I barely liked the starter trio they chose for the last one.
Really?
Well, I guess I do really like Cyndaquil and Rowlet, but it's not like having them. It was like, man,
I want the old game.
I kind of just want the old game.
Sun and Moon still goated.
Sun and Moon still. That's another one. I think that's the most slept on one.
Oh, definitely. I enjoyed every moment of it.
Like people actually they hate that one for some reason. Those are good games.
Pokemon and Halo fans are the same thing. They will hate the thing initially on release. Give it a few years. Wow, this is pretty good.
This thing was good.
Yeah, you don't
notice how it all went downhill after Sun and Moon 2.
There are some weird changes that happen within companies that are not seen, and it's just like the dramatic consequences of that pebble hitting the water have just made things all worse.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
you want to hear about my day or my week actually?
Sure.
Yeah, so
we had a tangent for 46
minute tangent.
Híjole.
But yeah, so I wanted to kind of talk about this because it's kind of a silly little story that's been going on this week. Mm-hmm. So since Monday, I've been getting spammed with calls at work. Mm-hmm. And I'm forced to answer these calls because that's my job, to answer the phones. And when I answer the phone, they keep asking for this lady named Susan Hunt. And I'm like, sorry, I don't know anybody by that name. You have the wrong number. Mm-hmm. And I told them this consistently on Monday. Come Tuesday, they're still calling, asking for Susan Hunt. And I'm starting to be like, okay, there's no Susan Hunt. I'm telling you there's no Susan Hunt. You have the wrong number. Mm-hmm. They're like, okay, bye. And even after I tell them this, it's come yesterday, Wednesday, mm-hmm. I'm telling them, you have the wrong number. This is not Susan Hunt. This is a completely different phone number. Tell the people at your business, because they had like 6 different people each day calling, mm-hmm. asking for Susan Hunt. And so yesterday I was like, guys.
Sure, I'm Susan Hunt.
No, hold on. God damn it. So yesterday I was like, guys, there's no Susan Hunt here. Stop calling. They're like, oh, sorry, man. Today, this morning, soon as I get to work, get a call. Is Susan Hunt there? I'm like, oh my gosh, no. This is a newspaper. There is no Susan Hunt. Hang up. And then they call again, asking for Susan Hunt. And at this point, I look at one of the editors, or not editors, one of the writers as they come through the door for work. And I told them about this throughout this week. And I'm like, you know what? At this point, I think I might actually just be Susan Hunt. I think I'm Susan Hunt at this point. They're convinced Susan Hunt is here. So maybe I am Susan Hunt. Mm-hmm. So the next time they call and ask for Susan Hunt, because I go through the spiel where I say the name and everything. I'm like, yeah, this is Caleb. And then they're like, they go quiet for a bit. And then I'll hear a click. And then they go, Susan, is that you? And so at this point, this was like the third call today that after I already explained to them that there's no Susan Hunt, mm-hmm. this is the wrong phone number, stop calling. Third time they've called today, probably the 15th time this week that they've called. And I go, oh, hold on. Give me just a sec. Yes, this is Susan.
No,
how can I help you?
Shot.
I start doing the female voice, and I'm in my mind. I'm like, there's no way they're gonna fall for this. This is clearly me. I just said hi to you. This is clearly me just doing a female voice, mm-hmm. but they fell for it.
And what were they asking about?
So apparently Susan is trying to either sell her home or buy a home. And they're like a company in charge of whatever that's about.
No.
And so I was basically...
no way.
This is how...
Did you sell the house?
I honestly could have. I could have sold the house. I was planning on bringing their number today and calling them on the podcast. But I think they confirmed that they closed at 5. Uh-huh. So I wasn't able to do that. But I do have one guy's number, so if they continue calling from this moment forward, we will call them on the podcast, and that will become a whole spiel where we call these people and pretend to be the couple selling their home.
There's no way.
They were absolutely convinced that I was Susan Hunt just by going, oh yeah, I think we can do that.
I'm shocked that Susan Hunt sounds like every Michael Jackson impression after he became white.
Apparently that's Susan Hunt.
Sometimes I like to go up into my tree and think to myself.
They didn't question it at all. But I was like, they're like, is now a good time? And I was like, oh no, I think I have to wait until my husband gets home. So can I give you a call back later? And then they're like, oh yeah, sure thing. And so I just hung up. And this is after I did a whole Susan Hunt.
We can find Susan Hunt.
I think I already did because they gave me her address.
What if we call...
I honestly could I could fraud this woman if I really wanted to.
Is this how fraud happens?
Because they just, like, they were immediately convinced that I was Susan Hunt off of my terrible voice that I was doing. It's just... oh yeah, this is Susan. And then they're like, oh, so you're living...
Is that why he called me earlier on this thing? Yeah, he was whispering. And I'm like, why are you whispering? I'm in a Mexican place going like...
So I got it set up.
I'm like,
but I knew...
why are you whispering?
I got it set up because I knew I could, and I just remembered that I could. But I knew we probably weren't gonna get to it today because I had to leave.
Were these always colored?
Yeah.
I thought they were always dark.
But no, yeah. So I basically, I was able to surmise what this company was.
Was like she getting like a good price for the house? Like, did you ask any questions?
I didn't get to that point.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure they called again. If they weren't closing at 5, I would have brought the number here for us to call. You would have been my husband, Mike. And we would have gone on a whole spiel.
What could be my Mike impression? I think I can just do this.
Probably.
Just a little bit lower. Well, my mortgage says this much on the new place, so why can't I like transfer? I'd be such an asshole. Just question. Well, why does it work like that? Why doesn't it work like this? Back in my day.
So
that's all I would do. With
I was kind of thinking to have like Susan be like kind of like a like little risque, where she's like a woman of the streets going around sleeping with other guys. And then Mike was going to be like a college professor who like would sleep with his students to get in exchange for good grades. Like they're just going to be terrible people.
This is so weird.
And like I was thinking we could get in like an argument over like while they're on the phone.
But you have her address. Why didn't you Google it?
I did Google it.
Is it like
I know where she lives.
Is it like a nice place? Like,
yeah, it looks pretty nice.
On what part of town?
It's like out by the airport.
What the fuck?
No clue how they got the work phone number. But like I said, you know what? If you're not doing anything tomorrow and we have an hour to spare, we could do an impromptu. If they keep calling tomorrow after I've already given them plenty of signs that I am not Susan Hunt, if they do it again, we will become Mike and Susan Hunt.
I might not want to because it will be filmed, and I think this technically counts as identity fraud. So we won't in Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
Actually, that doesn't even work anymore in GTA.
But like, isn't that stupid? I literally told them this was the wrong number. Don't call here because there's no Susan.
You should wait for the click because is there like somebody they're trying to forward to somebody? We should have a whole spiel be like, you have been calling me for a week.
I was thinking to do that because I wasn't thinking we'd actually like sell the house. We're just going to go on like, we're just going to waste their time for as long as possible. And then we're going to be like, yeah, we're just wasting your time. We're not Mike and Susan. You have been harassing me at work for the past week. Like it's not even a joke. It's like 3 calls an hour, and like one of those calls they answer, or one of those calls that they'll actually be like, "Oh, is this Susan? No, it's not Susan. I already told you."
3 calls an hour?
3 calls an hour all day.
That's over like 100 calls this week.
This is the most phone calls I've gotten Well, at work.
It's not even about the paper. It's about Susan Hunt.
It's all like I get maybe a few of our normal calls about like people wanting their paper, but everything else I've been on the phone for has been for Susan Hunt.
Oh, I gotta yawn. Sleepy. She's crazy. I kind of feel bad for Susan. She's just waiting for her call.
She's waiting for her call.
For a whole week, nothing has happened.
And what's crazy is they have her address. And I've told them this is the wrong number, so they could just find her themselves and be like,
send a letter.
We have the wrong number. We've been trying to contact you.
We've been trying to talk to you about your car's extended warranty.
They decide to keep calling me over and over and over again after I've told them. All this 3 days in a row, I've told them, this is the wrong number. Don't call this number. I don't know Susan Hunt. There is no Susan Hunt here. Leave me alone. And they still persisted to call today. So that's when I was finally like, I'm going to just start messing with these guys. I'm just going to pretend to be Susan.
And GTA.
In GTA.
Dude, I don't even... I feel bad for Susan.
I do too.
What if we just go to Susan's place and be like, hey, did you give these guys the wrong number?
I thought about doing that too. I was probably going to do that.
On video? Why is there a camera? We're doing this for a bit. Ma'am, we have been getting your phone number at our workplace for a week straight. I thought I would give you their phone number so you can call them.
Because it's like, oh, it's frustrating because it's like, I honestly would have, if we weren't recording today, I would have drove all the way out there and been like, Susan, for the love of God, these people won't leave me alone, but they're asking about your house.
Please, just call them tomorrow at this time.
How stupid is, like, I'm not going to say the name of the company, but this is a really bad look on the company that somebody could specifically tell them, you have the wrong number for this person who's making a very big life decision to sell their home. Don't call here. Figure out what this person's actual contact information is. And they still persist to call the wrong number to the point where I can now pretend to be her and they'll give me whatever information I want because they truly think I'm her.
I'm starting to realize how many of those like whoopsie daisies as you go, how do you think that happens? Goes on in life now just because of that.
It's just that. And like, did they not communicate to each other at any point that this number might be wrong? Or like, maybe it's even a scam too. I'm not even sure anymore, but it's a real house in Moses Lake. Mm-hmm. I haven't found the actual Susan Hunt yet. I tried.
Are they selling a house?
They're selling their home.
And is it, I'm not going to name names, or maybe you can just bleep it. Is it, fuck it, you're going to bleep it. Is it the real estate or no?
So I'm trying to, I don't know if I
post, so
I don't know if I
gets DOSed.
Released it on my, or if I searched it on my.
I think I could contact those people. My mom kind of still has their numbers and stuff. Is this some different real estate agency? I'm assuming that's what
I can't remember what it's called. I have it all. I literally have one of their agents' information all written down at work. Because I was like, you know what? If they persist to harass me, I will prank them.
Can you not block numbers on your phones or no?
If I can, I don't know how. But not even that, because there's like, they have like 3 different numbers that they're calling from. It's a different number every time, but it's the same company. So that's why I'm like, is it a scam? But I searched the company. It's a real company. It's a real realty company. So it's either they're the most stupid realty company on the planet, or it has to be a scam.
I kind of have a part of my soul that thinks it is a scam.
Mm-hmm. That's why I wanted to prank them, because it's like,
because it sounds really funny to harass somebody constantly at a newspaper. Yeah. It sounds like a classical 2000s bit.
Yeah, and like I said, I told this guy the whole situation. I'm like, this is a newspaper. This is what we do here. We sell newspapers.
This is a newspaper.
There's not a Susan Hunt here. I'm not selling any property. I'm not Susan Hunt. I don't even know who Susan Hunt is. And this guy went, dude, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, man. All right, I'll let you continue with your day. I'm like, great. Hopefully it's done, because I was honestly a little rude with this guy because I'm getting fed up with it. But no, they decided to call again. After I told this man exactly what the situation was, they called again.
Hey, by the way, is there a Susan Hunt that works there?
It's always, Columbia Mason Herald, this is Caleb. Click. Susan Hunt, are you there? No, this isn't Susan.
This is Bela Smelez.
And so I hang up and I'm like, hopefully that's done now. Ring again. Hello. Oh, is Susan there? And that's when I was finally like, oh yeah, just a sec. Hi, this is Susan. And it's like,
maybe it's not. Okay, I think the click, depending on how the agency works, not an attorney, somebody at the front of the office is like, they call and then they forward the call. So I think what's happening here is the guy that's talking to you or the other three individuals that might be trying to get this deal through aren't actually the problem. It might be, if I am correct here, the intern.
But like, you'd think that they'd tell that intern that's the wrong number. Because I've told each of the people who I know, I've recognized the same woman's voice twice now. And the first time I told her this is the wrong number. And then the second time when she called today was when I gave up and decided to just start pretending to be Susan.
That is so weird.
And it's like, do they not communicate at this company?
I don't think they do.
Like, because I literally told that each one of them at least once that I'm not Susan. There is no Susan here. This is the wrong number. Call somewhere else.
Mandela effect. It's actually just a different world.
Maybe they're calling from other dimensions. I don't know anymore.
Into the
Caleb. I'm telling you, if they call again tomorrow, I will waste an hour of their time.
I don't think I could keep up the bit with you. I'd start giggling the entire time. I think you'd have to just record a solo podcast.
A solo episode.
And just roast them for an hour.
I would too. I honestly, if I get off early tomorrow, I will.
This is so fucked, but it's so funny.
It's annoying. It's been driving me insane. Because like I said, it's 3 calls every hour. And 2 of those calls when I answer, it's an immediate hang up. So they just wasted my time. And then the other 1 call was a time where they're like, is Susan there? No.
Have you called them?
I have their number, so I can. I have their agent Andre. I have his number.
What you need to go do is find their website, not their agents, just the front office. Call the front office and be like, this is the Columbian Basin Herald. You have been calling for a week now.
Leave me alone.
This number has no significance to any association anywhere.
I will probably do that tomorrow. And
if they call you afterwards, after calling them first thing in the morning,
that's when I prank call them.
Then you prank call them.
Because it's like, I was honestly thinking that too. That's part of the reason why I didn't bring the stuff here. Because I was like, I'll give them one more chance. Because that lady that I talked to where I pretended to be Susan Hunt, she gave me the deadline. She was like, we need to get through with this. Will you be available to talk by 5 today? And I was like, oh, I'll see if I'll be available. I'll let you know. I didn't call her because I'm assuming at this point they're going to get desperate and they're just going to go out and find her. And if they don't, I will call their front office. If they call tomorrow and I come in, I will call their front office, be like, for the love of God, stop calling me. If I get another call today, if I get any more calls today from you guys,
there will be a Susan Hunt.
There
will be a failure of your office.
There will be a Susan Hunt, but it might not be the Susan Hunt you want. So you better get this fixed and figured out, or there will be consequences.
And GTA.
in GTA. I don't even know if it's illegal at this point because they're just blatantly being. It's like this is like the equivalent of somebody just like throwing a wad of money at someone and being like,
take it.
You're this person, right? Here's the money.
No.
I'm not this person.
Yeah, you are. No.
You're this person. Like at this point, I could just claim that they gaslit me into thinking that I'm Susan Hunt.
I went insane, Judge. I went insane.
Judge, I'm clinically they
8 hours a day.
Stockholm,
3 calls an hour.
They did Stockholm syndrome on me, Judge. They made me believe I'm Susan Hunt.
That's so weird.
The whole time doing the voice too. Judge, I don't even know who I am anymore. Am I Susan? Am I truly?
Are you Michael Jackson? I didn't touch those kids. I swear.
Oh, but yeah, that was.
Is Bill Cosby alive? Or did he die?
I think he's alive.
Random thought. I thought of O.J. Simpson, then I went to Bill Cosby.
O.J.'s dead.
Yeah, he died of a heart attack. Tweeted the day before. I'm fine.
I'm pretty sure Bill Cosby's alive.
It's so weird. It's always the ones you don't want to be alive.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, he's alive. Is Bill Cosby still in jail? And what did he do? If you don't know what he did at this point, I don't know what to tell you.
He hit them with that.
You have to be like 12 to not know what Bill Cosby did at this point.
I think you're less than 15.
Probably. You have to be. If you graduated this year, I'd imagine you probably don't know who Bill Cosby is or what he did.
Yeah. No, I agree. I was gonna say maybe give them a grace, but like no, because by like the mid 2000s, early 2010s, no, I don't think he's really like culturally even relevant. He wasn't
relevant other than the fact that everyone knew what he did.
I don't think I've heard a Bill Cosby joke in some time.
I remember too, before it became like the big story, is we'd still watch like Bill Cosby stand-up stuff.
That's
like,
wild.
Yeah, it was funny. And I was like, oh, he's actually just a horrendous human being. These aren't funny anymore. Did he ever?
I wish that was me with Michael Jackson. It's like, smoke criminal. I'm like, oh.
But the thing with Michael Jackson is it's like, I don't know if he actually did it.
But there was some weird stuff.
There's some weird stuff. But I mean, some of the kid actors who are around him have confirmed that they're like, yeah, there's weird stuff in Hollywood, but Michael Jackson wasn't a part of that.
So it's just really weird.
So it's like, well, I don't know. Makes you kind of think. Maybe we're after the wrong people.
You know what's okay? I probably want to end the podcast kind of soon. But
we can wrap it up.
You know what I heard the other day?
What?
That fucking absolutely blew my mind.
What'd you hear?
It answers so many questions about adults, like just older than us, how they react to certain information. There was a show. I forgot what it was. Not in specific. Just the initial reaction to this information, where there's a bunch of child actors, right? That were going to school and acting. I think it was Disney affiliated or whatever. And my mom was like, "Yeah, you watch the documentary Quiet on Set or whatever. I think that's what it's called." And the history about it, how like child actors are, what happens to them and whatever. And my aunt goes, "That didn't happen." And my mom goes, "Becky, they all confess to it on camera, and there's not one saying it. It's every child." And my aunt goes, "Man, I didn't even get 10 minutes into it. I don't think it happened." What? I was dumbfounded. I now know why when I told my aunt about the war on drugs and how it actually wasn't the war on drugs and how they made documented cases on it, like MK Ultra style, my aunt went, "It didn't happen."
That's actually insane.
And I know her husband exactly thinks the same.
To just dismiss proven facts.
She really went, the who would win a well-constructed argument with reliable facts and heaps of evidence.
No.
My aunt was really... I don't even know if she watched the podcast or not, but if she does, Thea, What the fuck?
That's actually the most insane take I've ever heard.
They're coming for us.
I didn't feed Dante. That's probably what that is.
Yeah, we probably need to do that. Well, that was batshit insane the other time. But Susan Hunt, I hope you get your house sold if you want that.
I truly hope these people finally get a hold of the actual Susan.
I think after you do the prank, you should get in contact with Susan. I actually feel bad for her.
I do too. Unless she's... There's two options. Here are the two options here. It's either... Or three options. It's either A, they're scam. B, Susan Hunt's an old lady who made a mistake and these people who work at this company are incompetent. Or the third option here is that Susan is actively evading paying for something and gave them the wrong number so she can evade it for as long as possible.
I won't lie. That last one maybe kind of makes sense.
I mean, I think all of them are plausible.
Give them a newspaper thing and they keep on calling. So you can damn, we might have a court case here if that's the last one.
Yeah. Probably.
Why didn't you pay your house taxes? They couldn't find me in enough time because you're supposed to give certain information out by the wrong time.
Because if she moved, their fault. Because if she moved too, then that address, she's not at that address anymore, and that's the only address they have.
Exactly.
So she could be evading taxes.
Wow, we live on the set of Totally Oblivious.
Susan Hunt's either a criminal, an old lady who made a mistake,
or incompetent,
or about to get scammed.
This is wild.
Who knows? But I guess the stunning conclusion will happen tomorrow when I go to work. At least my portion of this should end tomorrow. I hope this doesn't continue on into next week, because if it does, I might lose my mind, and I will prank call them tomorrow. If this happens, I will.
I've given them more than 3 tries.
I've given them more than enough opportunities to rectify the mistake of calling me continuously, but they have not learned from any of these times. Your alter
ego should be like Susan Hunt from now on.
I think so. I think
how people sometimes call me Jason still. You should go by
Susan Hunt. Susan Hunt's my the new undercover name.
Yeah.
And apparently that female voice just works. Apparently they can't.
That Michael Jackson ass voice.
The Michael Jackson voice for some reason works.
Hi, how you doing? Oh.
And you know, I was even thinking too, you could have brought back your Becky voice. That could have also probably worked. Oh my
God, I forgot how I did my Becky. Unrelated to my aunt. Becky, look at her butt. I have to do it like this. I think this is how I do it. I kind of have to puff up my cheeks a little bit to do it.
You did it so good in middle school.
Because I think my voice was a little bit different back then.
A little higher.
I think now
it was a perfect. I don't think you've done it since then either.
Becky, is it really high? How is it nasally? I can't really. I don't even remember how I did it.
See, because now it just sounds like a gay guy.
Hold on. How do I do a gay guy? How do I do a gay guy? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, this is kind of how I do it. This is my kind of my gay voice. Try to embrace my inner Kaiser Neko, but he has a little bit different of a voice.
There you go.
This is my gay. But hold on. Oh my God, Becky. This is my higher end, so there is a difference.
Ooh, that one's a good one.
Yeah, so I think I kind of got it. I think.
So you need to hone in on your Mike Hunt voice.
Well, listen here. Or maybe should we make them a lesbian? Okay. Well, that wasn't on your transcript. Well, I'm trans.
I'm actually.
It's my dead name.
So I'm actually married to 2 people. I have my husband, Mike.
They asked a question. Polygamy is legal in the state of Washington? Question mark.
No, but we still do it.
Yeah.
The 60s were a wild time.
Okay, I think we should end it.
I need a good one. Okay. Well, any final comments?
Give them grace one more time. Try to be like, call them first and be like, listen, I'm the Colombian Basin Herald. Do not fucking call this number. Please. If you call again, you can call again. I won't pick up. And then you do Susan Hunt.
Yeah, I will.
And her lesbian trans husband, Mike Hunt.
Mike Hunt. But that will be the final solution.
That's what I would do. I'd give him grace one more time.
I will. If they call tomorrow, I will be like, I will give them the whole Spider-Verse spiel. My name is Caleb Perez.
We're gonna go through this one more. Let's do this one last time. You need to record yourself doing this call and exactly word for word, bar for bar, try to introduce yourself as a Spider-Verse character. All right, let's do this one more time.
Let's do this one
My name is Caleb Perez. I work for the Colombian Basin Herald. The woman you have been trying to call for the past week, Susan Hunt, does not work here, is not affiliated here. She doesn't even live close to near here, actually. It's on the completely opposite side of town. And whatever the name is, Marin. I was going to say Marin. Marin, I need you as the intern or the person that forwards calls to your agents not to call this number again. If they ask, where is Susan Hunt? Do not give them this number. Say, we don't have her information. We need to mail something in. And if that is not possible anymore, this is a dead case, Susan. I am sorry. You have wasted your own time. I have only been the victim in this scenario. Good day. Hang up. Don't even give... Okay, if they ask a question at the end, answer it, then hang up. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do it. That was really good acting on my part. I was kind of...
If you ever questioned Alex's talent, there it was. He did that all unscripted.
Yeah. See, I can do things if I put my mind to it, but I like to be a little goofball.
But yeah, that to be continued on this, I guess. We'll see. We'll see how this ends. But anyway, that's it for this week. We didn't talk about anything specific, but that's okay.
We're going to name this Susan Hunt.
Susan Hunt.
Who is Susan Hunt?
Susan Hunt. Yeah, good title.
Good title.
I'm going to have to remember that. Anyway, peace out.